What words of wisdom do you have for those of us who see gaslighting from all sides? AI is your friend. Every single thing you see, have a Claude account, an OpenAI account, Perplexity, before you take it at face value. If it's interesting and controversial, load that information in and have it fact checked by the AI as a starting point. Now, I'm not telling you to wholesale accept the answer. What I am doing is saying what this does for you is adds nuance into the conversation. For example, if somebody said 86% of children who got the vaccine developed cancer, that's a huge statement, right? Well, you should have some skepticism there because you think to yourself, hang on a second here. Well, if the majority of children got the vaccine and they're saying 86% develop cancer, shouldn't we have like all the cancer wards in America be pediatric cancer wards be overloaded with children? And you'll always know somebody says, well, my kid got cancer. That's true, but let's take a step back. Let's be rational about this. And let's just try to think critically about it. What the AI will do is say, well, okay, well, if that was to be true, here are the set of things that have to be true for that to be true. The causality. So always ask that question. What would have to be true for what I've just been told to be true? So if somebody says, I have a standing water in my basement, think to yourself, what would have to be true for that statement to be true? Okay, well, a pipe broke. That could be a hypothesis. There was a rainstorm and it leaked into the basement. That could be a hypothesis. But you know there had to have been some source of water that got into the basement. Now, if that person lives in the Sahara Desert and there hasn't been a rain in that area of the Sahara in 30 years, and that day that they said there's standing water there, it's no water. And you say, okay, well, I know it wasn't a natural cause, so it might have to be an artificial cause. So that person had to have had water in that area. There has to be an oasis. There has to be a well. You're following the critical thinking. So AI can help you sort these things out. You say, okay, well, here are the GPS coordinates. Can you find the sources of water nearby there? And also give the scenario and start walking through, well, what could be? The point is that it's a thinking tool, and it helps you reason about whether something you've been told is credible or not credible. It gives you the ability to kind of work your way through a scenario for feasibility. And at some point, you'll run up against the wall, and then you just have to make a decision with all the available facts that I have, I want to believe this or not. And then if you really want to believe something, is it because the facts have persuaded you, or is it because your worldview is compatible with this? I believe that Joe Biden is a piece of shit. I believe that for a long time, based upon his behaviors, based upon what he's done to America, based upon his time in the Senate, based upon what he's done to his own family. Now, because of that, anytime I see any negative news about Joe Biden, I know for a fact that I'm much more likely to accept it at face value, even if it's not true. So recently, all these reports came out that Biden's staff apparently knew that he has dementia, and they were hiding for him. Now, I believe that was probably the case. So it's very easy for me when I see a story like that, because of my worldview and biases and my dislike for the person and the culture that he leads, to say to myself, oh, that's probably true, without even reading the article. What if the people who said these things made it up? Isn't America a place where you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty? And the liberals listening, anything you hear about Trump that's negative, deep down inside, you probably just believe it, face value. Really, it's just part of you. And he's a piece of shit. Hate this guy. And so, I heard he smells. That was actually articles that were written in the courtroom. People said that Donald Trump smells bad. And just people believed it. They started saying it. Small hands. How many of you actually shook Trump's hand and seen his hand in person? but apparently just believe he has small hands because the inference is he has a small penis. And they just wanted to populate that, piss him off. That's what people do. So what AI does is it's this amazing MacGuffin that allows you to kind of return to an objective slate of conversation. In the process of returning to that, it helps you break out of that cognitive trap that you're in, that your worldview is jading your belief on certain things. And two things can be true at the same time. People you hate can do good things, and people you love can do bad things. Just that simple. People are nuanced. Humans are nuanced. And it's entirely possible that the worst person in the world did something good in their life. And it's entirely possible that a saint did something bad. So AI helps you sort that out. And I think that helps also resolve the gaslighting as well, because once you've determined what you're seeing is problematic, meaning that it's likely not true and it was packaged in some way, then you have to ask the next step, who benefits from somebody believing that this is true? Who benefits? Who's making money? Who's getting power? Who's losing money? Who's losing power? There's always that question you have to ask. Who benefits from that belief? And who doesn't benefit from that belief? And then that helps you organize all that. This is a skill that they should teach every high schooler: critical thinking skills, propaganda skills, argumentation. And they really have to understand these things. And if they can't get there, that's a problem. So that's another critical thing that we have to put into the social media era.